Hello, hello everyone. Here we are. Trying to find the right container for these cards because they are just overflowing. Um, so interesting with the cards that get pulled. And then there's a couple other readers that I listen to, and I've said this before, it's like when they're saying things, it completely ties back to my cards that I pulled and their perspective on the meaning of my card. When they say certain things, I'm like, wow, I could have interpreted my cards that way. I'm not saying their whole read, but I'm just saying there's certain things that they say, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting, because I really could have, this fell out of the cards. And it was in between greater than and the final test. Oh my gosh, when stuff like that happens, I seriously want to cry. It's really just amazing. And I know that this final test storyline is coming out a lot. Like, I keep hearing warning after warning after warning after warning of people having these reads of trying to warn the evildoers or the wrongdoers or the arrogant, egotistical folks. That reminds me, where's my other little light? I remembered. Oh, down here. I almost bought a little light, and I'm like, hey, aw. I was like, hey, I already have a flashlight I could probably use. And as I just pick it up, all the batteries fall out. So that you can see part of the artwork. I don't know if it's going to be too bright. It's bright for my eyes, for sure. Well, it kind of wrecks. Well, I guess that's okay, right? You can see the cards better now, right? I wish I could see the comments, but I can't, so. Unless someone knows. Anywho, need a new container for the cards. Interesting that we've got this coming out in between the greater than and the final test. Right? So overall, this is greater than this final test. It's like, you can't make it up with what we were just talking about unless I'm creating it in my mind. And am I making a mess here? I am making, oh, there's some that are upside down. This is great. Saith the Lord. Anywho, you guys can feel free to shout out some of your favorite readers in the comments if you'd like. Because most likely, if you enjoy my channel, then the people who might be watching my channel might enjoy the channels that you're suggesting as well. So by all means, share your favorites. I don't mind. Dollar bills, yo. We've got the island, dollar bills, and yarn. I do want to share what a couple readers have said, just for a heads up for anybody who might need to hear. One was a warning about getting into a red car or burgundy car. Another one had warned about going to a party, and something about the food and a child. Like, don't let people feed your child. Maybe just don't even go to the party, if I remember correctly. Your child, and don't let a stranger feed your dog. Which makes me think I need to close my back door when I'm not here, in case someone's trying to harm. Another reader mentioned checking your bank accounts and locking your accounts. Got tulips. The tulips need the support of the stem in order to hold their flowers up. They're very delicate. Maybe there's someone who's barely holding themselves up right now. Okay. See, this is just a lot of cards. I guess I could use this just for temporary. Golly, folks, this is... We've got the witch's hat coming up, and the traffic cone with the same shape. So warning, warning for sure. You know I don't like to see the back of the card. So we've got the peacock, arrogance and peacocky, and the haunted house. People are being haunted. Okay, I'm moving these because I don't want to... I don't know what that is about myself. Okay, so back of the deck we've got the domino. It just takes one domino and everything's going to come tumbling down. With that being said, it only takes 1% of the population to make a change. And of course they say there's 1% of people who are the ones making the most money in the world. Oh, I don't know if you guys can even see that area over there, so I'm going to put this up here. Middle of the deck, we have the traffic cone coming out again. Boundaries. Make sure you're keeping your boundaries, following the rules. We've got integrity being for sale. This keeps coming out again. Keeping your boundaries. Maybe there's going to be the testing of people's integrity. We've got purse. The integrity of people's finances are going to be looked at. Oh, wow. Remember I was just saying that other reader was talking about protecting your financial accounts. She had said that somehow someone's going to make it appear like something bounced in your account that previously had cleared, and that somehow it was going to create your account to get locked or something. I don't know how it works, but a bag of balls. So someone's being a jerk about a purse, about identity, about what someone carries around. Maybe what someone's carrying around is making them kind of a jerk. When the balls come out the bag, they go in all different directions, right? You just don't know what you're going to get. So just keep your boundaries as far as your integrity is concerned. Don't act out of character. Maybe there's some things you need to keep private. Don't know. We've got our rose-colored lenses. Keep it positive for sure. You'll want to do that. A house in the hills. That represents a wealthy couple to me. When I'm growing up, we knew people who actually had a house all the way up in the hills. It was always fun to go to their house. Their hangers were in their closet were parted just an inch apart of each other, just perfectly so throughout the whole closet. It was really cool. Rose-colored lenses. The elephant in the room. Elephants never forget. And they're easily trained, right? Maybe someone feels like they are stuck somewhere. Maybe someone feels stuck somewhere. Maybe someone's confused on how to move forward. There's a story about the chain that's on the elephant's ankle. I should probably put a chain around this ankle. When there's the chain around the elephant's ankle, they still think that they're strapped to whatever it was that they were strapped to on that short chain, so they couldn't move around very much. And so when they take that chain off after training the elephant still thinks it can't move or maneuver around very far because it still has the feeling of the chain being around its ankle. So that's why, if you ever wonder why do they have that chain on the elephant's leg, that's what they say it's from. I apologize for my voice, and I'm a little bit more tired than I thought I was before I sat down. So I apologize on that. We've got the owl. This one's not the hoot hoot owl. This is just someone who's observing. Owls are nocturnal, as we all know. Very wise animals. Oh, holy smokes. We've got the hoot hoot owl coming out now. Is that the elephant in the room? Like, who's this person who's observing and staring and watching? When I said, is that the elephant in the room, my ears rang. The wealthy couple from the hills, the house in the hills. The elephant is looking at this house in the hills. With the observer here. And the hoot hoot. And the hoot hoot owl's eyes look like, well, are you going to say something? Are you going to do something? He's like, if you're not, I will. We've got the UFO. Could be extraterrestrials. It could be of Beam Me Up Scotty. Could be experimentation. Maybe talking about being out of this world. Someone's very unique. Has to do with family, stability, protection, human imperfection, the hexagon, the Star of David, the balance between masculine and feminine, earth and the sky, deep emotions and passion, connection, home, care for family, trying again, beauty, a natural caregiver. So maybe just a caretaker. We've got milk, the land of milk and honey. You get milk from a cow to feed the young. Milk and Pepsi. Someone could be milking this rose-colored lens personality. Maybe someone's acting in that kind of way and it's a little bit alien for them because that's not generally how they are. Let me put all the cards down. Someone's walking away from the group. Maybe they just can't do it anymore. They've got the feather. Science, were we not just talking about experimentation? UFO. Spiritual science. Walking away. A professional spiritual scientist. So maybe a spiritual manipulator. Parasite. Ladybug. Something is a parasite for the ladybug because someone's in someone's pocket. Is getting their flowers. Reflecting. Mirror. They're seeing, maybe they're looking at themselves. Baby steps. Sasquatch being elusive. 4, 5, 6. Someone who has braids. And an idea. Let's have an idea about putting someone into poverty. Potatoes are about poverty as well. It's also about being grounded. It's about being down to earth. We've got oranges here. Bright and cheery, vitamin C, the snake. Mirror, I don't know, am I tired? Why am I having a hard time? We've got mustard seed here, just a little bit of faith is all it takes against the snake. Yarn, where everything's connected, a creative project. Braids and yarn, that's interesting, right? Professional parasite, someone who comes and I hope that's not like a, and there's certain words that I don't really like saying, but I was going to say an Hitman could be a parasite, a professional parasite, or someone who's just like this all the time. Then we've got a toe tag, something needing to be identified. Yet another resource network could be being identified at this point because of someone's faith. How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to do 5 rows, we've got the Zen card. Even though they're in a state of poverty, they're still in a state of Zen. They have empty pockets. Someone is hiding, but it's like, I can see you. You think you're hiding, but you're not hiding. What, are you just trying to get comfy and get a little cozy there? There's balance here. Maybe there's a little bit of hide and seek. We've got the Earth Angel, number 4, Virgo card. Maybe there's a Virgo who's a snake. Baby steps on the science. Watching. Maybe someone's getting closer to seeing what the snake is all about. And how they have how did they get their stability? We've got man-made with the bicycle, man-powered. Bicycles, also 2 cycles. This is my hot seat card. Movement around town. It's a short trip. Casual, leisurely. We've got the monster. Someone tried to make someone appear to be a monster. Parts brought together to make whole, things that go bump in the night. There's 4 types of monsters: the supernatural, the psychopaths, the common phobias and folklore, legends, and myths. Abilities not conforming to laws of science. So maybe there's some supernatural activity going on. Dr. Evil. Man-made. Man-made supernatural things going on. Interesting. And then we've got camp. So maybe there's a group of people in their camp that are experiencing these supernatural things. And pretty much they brought it all on themselves because of the decisions that they made throughout these couple cycles. Maybe these are moon cycles, considering we've got the moon there with the illumination. Why does it seem like there's so many cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I must be tired, folks. We've got the plunge card here as the outcome. Sailing away, another water card. Black hole. Someone's definitely going to be sailing off into the wide open seas. Either that or they're just overwhelmed with emotion at this point. The Aniston cut. This was the layered haircut card, but then I thought, you know what? I already have geode, so geode's about layers, right? The different rings and whatnot. And then the Aniston cut, it's like, that's the haircut everybody wanted. It's like everyone jumped on the bandwagon. Once Jennifer Aniston had that certain haircut, everybody else wanted it too. So are these people all going to go and take a plunge somewhere or sail away and take a cruise into the black hole and never return? Are they all going to go ahead and do that together? We've got the first pancake. The first pancake never works out. Well, I shouldn't say never, because sometimes you have the temperature right and you know when to do it and when to put it on there, but usually it's going to take more than one effort to get the pancakes the right color, you know, the right consistency. And there's a bunch of people here because there's more than just one person serving. Well, I mean, I could probably eat a lot of pancakes, you know, depending. I mean, there's factors involved, right? The size, maybe they're silver dollar pancakes. That could be one person. But this is a big griddle, and so there's a lot of pancakes here. At least enough for 3 people, 4 people. So there's going to be all these people going around sailing away because their emotions have gotten the and they're going to put themselves in a very vulnerable situation. They're super comfortable though, right? And then this card comes out. All that and a bag of chips. Transformation, death. And a bag of chips. So they're going to take the plunge and sail away into this black hole. Everyone's going to be jumping on the bandwagon. Everyone's jumping on board. Everyone, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people. And if it doesn't turn out at first, they're going to go ahead and try it again, but that's just going to put them in a very vulnerable situation, right? That everyone's planning on maybe transitioning. Because you're not going to be able to eat just one. Maybe there's just so many people that they can't even deal with all the people who are talking about all the forewarnings that they were getting. There's so many people talking about it. The warnings. Make the better choice. It's time. It's time to come to terms with things. Find your balance. You need to be in a place of zen. So we've got the rose-colored glasses with the house in the hills. Maybe someone understands that someone knows about the house in the hills, and they're still like having a good attitude about it, like, oh, they're still, it's not a big deal. So what? Who cares if they know? Right? Because if there's an elephant in the room, you kind of have an inkling or a feeling or something. Everybody knows about it. So this owl is just observing. It's not saying anything at first. They're just watching this elephant like, well, what are you going to do? Waiting it out. Like, what are you going to do? Like, even as far as the place I had a leave of absence on. It's been like almost 3 years now that I've been on a leave of absence. And it's like, clearly they're not going to do anything about it. They clearly don't care. Right? And so in that case, I would be like this owl right here, just kind of like watching to see about, how are they going to treat this whole elephant in the room? What's going to happen next? So who's going to say something? Maybe something's going to come out of the blue. Someone's going to say something out of the blue about this. Compassion, connection, deep emotions, connection, love and compassion, home, care from family, trying again, and trying again. Harmony, high ideals, goes with that rose color lenses, protection, nurturing, the human imperfection. I know as far as my job, it's like, I understand people are not perfect, and I understand that there's processes to go through, but it's like, if you're not going to even go through the processes or try to do the investigative work behind it, it's like, really? It's not really somewhere I want to work. Because I can't believe I'm tired. Okay. You guys, the last night I think I had 5 or 6 hours, and then the night before that I had an hour. So in the last 48 hours I've only had like 7 hours, like 1 full night's sleep in the last 48 hours. Is this working, I wonder? Oh gosh, and it's already 12:23 right now. On the 27th. That goes so fast. Is it Thursday? Because I know this clock was wrong before. Anywho, I need to spend some time reorganizing. Alright, so here we are back to the read, and I'm so sorry. You guys are probably just like, can we just get on with it? And I think I've already said everything. Because we've got this person here. I don't even know how to even work the milk into it, unless they have a milk mustache. Maybe they have a mustache. But they're leaving the group of people. They're walking away from the group. Usually some theories about the penguin, when they just all of a sudden start leaving a group, it's because they get confused, and so they just walk away. I could be like how cats, if they're sick and they know that it's their last moments, that they just walk away from the family because they don't want the family to have to experience that. So they walk away in order to alleviate the family having to be sad about the situation. Even though, if you have a cat and you love your cat, that's the last thing you'd want for your cat to do, is just go off on its own to like not be here anymore. And considering this outcome over here, I'm wondering if these people are going to do that. Or maybe they were hoping someone would walk away. Maybe someone who has a mustache was hoping someone would just walk away from either them, their family, or the group, on some maybe spiritual pilgrimage somewhere. Maybe they wanted to see if someone would actually walk away from their faith, of their spiritual beliefs. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. So definitely someone was trying to have some kind of experiment. Maybe they feel like they had a science to it all. And then I'm going to go back to this whole spiritual practice thing. There's a professional person who's in the spiritual practice, that they know how to do maybe these concoctions. what is that, that one religion, Scientology maybe? Um, Parasite. Draining someone's luck, draining the ability to eat all the aphids, identifying the aphids and the support. So where is this person getting their support from? If someone had that idea and asked that question, where is this person getting the support from? How in the world are they in such a good spirits and have such a positive attitude when they have empty pockets and they can't even keep the lights on? How do they stay so balanced? I mean, they still obviously have money to support themselves and buy milk, for Pete's sake. Right? What's the center energy? The baby steps. We've got the faith, the elusive faith, the mustard seed, the Sasquatch. Is it real? Is their faith seriously real? Or is it man-made? Are they just faking their spiritual beliefs? Here they are talking about their spiritual beliefs. Are they just a professional talker? That makes no sense. I mean, I guess there are professional talkers, right? There's people who are they influence people with what they say. Maybe someone's concerned about that. They don't want someone to be influencing other people. Maybe there's a parasite. All of a sudden, someone's going to have to deal with some kind of parasite, whether it's a human form or an actual internal parasite. They say they're all like a majority of our foods have parasites in it now, especially pork, a lot of berries. I don't know, you can Google it, I suppose. Someone's trying to weave it all together, create some kind of project, as I said, taking a whole bunch of parts of things and bringing it all together. Things that go bump in the night, the spiritual monsters, someone is being bombarded. Maybe just to test their faith, because we had that final test that was in the very beginning. We've got this earth angel, as I said, with the snake, baby steps, science, creating situations that would test somebody's faith or their integrity, like I was saying before. The balance and the oranges, orange juice, vitamin C. Are you comparing the right things together? Potato, potato. I mean, are you saying it because you believe it? Or are you saying it because that's how you were taught? Or are you saying it because, that's the right thing to say? Or is that how you start your mornings? Or is that the root of the matter? Are those the things that go down deep into the soil? So someone's trying to take a look at this. Maybe someone's reflecting on their own spiritual beliefs. Are they going to go ahead and squeeze it and make their own orange juice? Maybe someone's saying, how much can we squeeze this person in order to see how deep their faith actually goes? Maybe someone's watching someone just go at it with somebody over and over again, and they keep testing this person to see if their faith is actually true. And someone's looking at them like, how long are you going to do this to this person? This person walked away from a group. They're going towards this house in the hills, right? And they're still growing their flowers. And somebody wants this person hidden. But they're not hidden because they're clearly seen. But they're hidden somewhere. Even if it is in their own mind, or even if it is just partially hidden in some certain regard. Maybe they're hidden from certain avenues, people, groups, situations. They aren't seen. Maybe someone didn't want them to be seen. We've got the Zen and the yin and yang, the balancing on both sides. They didn't want someone to see that this person is completely zen and in balance and that they're an earth angel. Everyone jumped on the bandwagon, took the plunge. Maybe someone sailed over the ocean, took a time out, relaxed. They disappeared into the darkness. They're just relaxing. They're transmuting. And they're relaxing and they're just enjoying their chips. Right? Should we get the word cards out if I can find them? I've got a big old jacket right here. I'm just going to pull these out up here. Just whatever I pull out. Take me back is upside down. This person probably doesn't even want to go back to that job. Anomaly, someone is like, I can't believe that they didn't come back. I can't believe they didn't ask to even come back. I really loved my job, you guys. I thoroughly enjoyed being there. It didn't pay worth a darn. Like, literally. I had to tell my boss when they offered me, they wanted me to be full-time, and they were offering me to be eventually to be an assistant manager, and I kind of laughed when I was asked, because it was like, well, is it going to pay me enough so I can pay my rent and pay my bills? And I think they took offense to that. But I mean, I wasn't making very much money in the job that I had, and that was supposed to be my part-time job. So it was like I needed to pay rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, which was what? Almost $3,000 at the time. And I wasn't even making that much. So I just asked. It's like, well, if the assistant manager makes enough, then sure, I'd love to. But I think they really were offended. But it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was just because it didn't make any logical sense for me. It was supposed to be my second part-time job, because I had a full-time job at corporate offices, and then I had the that was my second-time job. Is that what it's called? Anywho, I like to fill my time. I love working, so I don't know how you can take a part-time job and have it cover your expenses of the same regard that when you were working in a corporate office, because you know corporate office people make, unfortunately, more than people who work in retail establishments. You know what I mean? And people in retail, they work really hard. Just saying. Someone didn't compromise, so they're surprised someone didn't compromise. It's an anomaly that whomever this is, they didn't compromise about it. They're shocked. Build? Yes, I built the not restaurant. I built the store myself with everybody. Dumpster. No build dumpster. Completely trashed it. Walked away. Trashed the whole opportunity. Didn't compromise. Didn't ask to be taken back. Decided not to build on it anymore. And just threw it all in the trash. That's someone's opinion. In my situation, nobody ever came to talk to me about anything. Nobody was concerned about what happened. That's all. 11 upside down, so it's not 11. It's either more or less than 11. That makes no sense, folks. It's not even a dozen people. It's not even a dozen eggs. What do you do with that? 11 is 2 pillars. It's also the number 2 when you add it together. So there was a decision that had to be made. This is bringing up June for me. June 2nd, June 11th, November 6th. Could be somebody's birthday. (611). It's not a man. It's probably a boy. No plans. Kind of shallow with the deep card. Destiny. Stand out, blending in, hiding. so it's a woman who was shallow or a boy that was shallow. It wasn't a plan, it was actually just destiny. It was destined to happen. Booze. Someone's boozing it up. Maybe they didn't have a plan about the situation. They just wanted to go out for drinks. Or they didn't plan to go out for drinks. They were just bored. Maybe they said, hey, let's meet at like someone with the name F. First, middle, or last. Slow it down. Someone's moving too fast. Let's go at a smaller pace. Someone was mature, and the letter J on the back. Alright, that's enough of that. We've got time, vixen, work, gossip at work about a vixen, a muse. The vixen was somebody's muse. Tech, upside down. There's something with somebody's tech. Maybe someone's not tech savvy. At least not this time. And those are blanks. Alright, you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sleep. And an awesome day tomorrow. I'll probably leave the cards out and maybe do another live on it tomorrow to see if there's a different thought that comes to mind when I'm not so tired. Thanks for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and then you'll be able to make comments and whatnot too. With that being said, take care. How do I turn it off? Good night.